But what if it's been many years since you served Jehovah? Does Jehovah still care for you? The following interview will help you answer that question. It's the story of Manfred Steffensdorfer, a brother in Germany who was separated from Jehovah's organization for many years. How did Jehovah show his personal care for Brother Steffensdorfer, and how did he respond?
One day, early in the morning, I had a kind of heart attack. And because it didn't stop, I went to the hospital. When I arrived there, then the heart calmed down. So I sat there in the car and started to think about my life. I was not really happy. There was an emptiness in my heart. I was raised in the truth. My parents got baptized when I was 2 and my brother 5 years old. But 8 years later, when I was 10, they became inactive. For almost 1 year, I went alone to the meetings. A young brother and his wife, they really took care of me. He took me along in field service. He gave me little assignments, let me read at the book study, which impressed me a lot. And I also participated in the Theocratic Ministry School. But then, a few months later, we moved to another town, far away from any kingdom hall. So I didn't have any chance to attend the meetings anymore. For the next 10 years, because of school and sports, and later also because of my demanding work, I was so busy that I was completely distracted from the truth. But deep in my heart, I knew there is Jehovah and there is the truth. And my conscience reminded me from time to time. But nothing happened until that very morning when I sat in the car and started to think about my life. I started to pray. The very first time after many years, a long prayer, and I poured out all my feelings to Jehovah. And I asked him to help me to return, because I knew it would not be that easy. Well, a few days later, while I was waiting for somebody, a girl sat beside me, and I asked her right away whether she believes in God. A very interesting discussion started, and she said that she was a strong Catholic, and she was also searching for the truth because she was not happy with what happened in her religion. We continued our conversations. We decided to examine both together, religion, and to start with Jehovah's Witnesses. A few weeks later, we looked in a newspaper for an address of a kingdom hall, and we went there. But we had to leave earlier because of my health condition, so there was no contact to the congregation, to any of these brothers. In the meantime, we got married, and not long after we got married, a sister came to our door from house to house. I wasn't at home. My wife took the truth book and asked her whether she would be willing to return the next day, because then I would be home. When I came back in the evening, I was so happy when I heard what had happened. So I took the truth book, started to read, and I didn't end until the book was finished. And everything that I learned as a child came back. The next day, the sister came. We started a Bible study. At the weekend, we attended a circuit assembly, and the week after, we attended a meeting. The brothers were so friendly and welcomed us in such a way that I really felt as if I had returned home. So we were so enthused that we right away went to my parents. We right away went to my brother at the same time. So he was married in the meantime, he had a child. And I started a Bible study with him. I also went to an uncle of mine, and I heard that he also was a witness in the 1950s. So we invited him to accompany us to the convention in Nuremberg. He agreed, we took him along and we camped then there at the assembly ground. And then I also went to the brother who cared for me when I was a child, because I heard that he also was inactive. So we told them what has happened to us and how much he influenced my life when he cared for me as a child. And you can imagine what joy we had when they all returned to Jehovah. At the same time, I decided together with my wife not to say no to Jehovah, to say yes whenever it would be possible. We became also very active in field service. So in the month when I was baptized, I auxiliary pioneered. 8 months after baptism, I started regular pioneering. My wife started also some time later. When we were asked to special pioneer, we said yes. When we were asked to assist with engineering construction here at this new construction in Zelters, we also agreed. We said yes to it. Some years later, when we were asked to stay at Bethel as Bethelites, we also agreed to it. We also said yes. Because of all the blessings we experienced from the very beginning, we got the strength and we got the joy to put in practice what we were determined to do. So that means it was an outstanding joy, as you can imagine, when all those relatives came back to the truth and returned to Jehovah. It was a joy that many of the studies we had in all these years, many of them, they got baptized. But one of the outstanding blessings was that I got to know my wife. She really helped me a lot to return to Jehovah. And she always gave a wonderful example and was very zealous in field service up to this day. I personally experienced how merciful Jehovah was to me and to my wife, that he is really full of tender affection. When I returned to him, then he returned to me in a faith-strengthening way.
What a blessing Brother Steffensdorfer had, not only to be reactivated himself, but to reactivate others. Brother Steffensdorfer kept his word about always saying yes to Jehovah. In fact, he now serves as a member of the branch committee in Central Europe.